What's up, everybody? Welcome to a kind of funny reacts for that Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice non-blurry, non-shaky, officially HD release trailer.
It's out.
One of your hosts, Greg Miller, Nick Scarpino, Tim Geddes, the third one. It is out, thank God. Thank you for saying it. I was dying having to watch this shaky cam footage trying to figure out what the hell's happening.
Because literally this morning you came and we were talking about it on Colin Greg Live and you were like, no, I think that the camera, I think they purposely made it blurry right when it got to Ben Affleck and then it blurred out.
A lot of people on Twitch stream yelled at me today.
And
Colin Greg Live, every 11
I don't think that's the way it was. I think the camera just lost focus.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. But then when I watched it the first time, I was like, did they do that on purpose? Because it was really weirdly timed.
Right.
I knew they didn't do it on purpose. Like, I had that thought though, where I was like, so I don't think Greg's crazy.
Okay. So now we've watched it, we've seen it in full. Of course, you can go over to Zack Snyder's Twitter, get it there. Nick, what did you think?
I liked it. I'm not as excited for the first part of it as I am for the second part of it, where we actually. I wasn't excited until I saw Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne.
Really? It took you that long? That's deep in the trailer.
Well, because the thing is this: it's not. I mean, Tim brought up this point earlier. It's not a traditionally done Zack Snyder trailer.
Sure.
If you remember, the 300 trailer and the Man of Steel trailer were two of the best trailers.
I even want to say
ever.
the Sucker Punch trailer.
Sucker
Talk
Punch
shit about the
great.
movie all you want, but the trailer was dope as hell.
So I was expecting something on that level, and it looks like we're getting something a little bit more refined. We get the sort of VO at the beginning of it, a lot of which I didn't necessarily doesn't exactly get me jacked up until you hear Jesse Eisenberg. And he says the line. I think that's him. He says the line.
That's what we're assuming. Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, is the guy saying, "We know better.
Devils don't come from hell; they come from the sky." So I mean, they're setting up the world, which is cool. There's a lot in this trailer that I think is awesome. I think the first time you see sort of him as Bruce Wayne is cool, obviously, and then he's looking, maybe he's either looking at or they're juxtaposing him looking at the shot of the Batsuit, which let's be honest, the Batsuit looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like it's made all of Kevlar. And it looks like it's like 15 layers of Kevlar and bulletproofness and stuff like that. And he just looks like a tank, which I'm very excited. We've never seen a Batman that actually looks like the Batman from the comic book.
Yeah, Jim Lee drawn Batman.
This really looks like Dark Knight Returns style things, and even all the different hearing the reporters and stuff reminded me of Dark Knight, where it kept cutting back to all the news reports. And stuff.
I mean that's the thing. I mean, Tim, what did you think of the trailer overall?
It was cool. Honestly, Batman v Superman. Overall, I'm excited for it just because that's awesome. That's something that I'd be into. But I don't know, whatever. There's more about this trailer that made me go, than that made me go, fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Seeing the Batmobile, I'm like, oh, that just looks just like the Tumbler.
It does look like Tumbler.
There's all these weird things where this shot distracted me.
Right now, the shot he's referring to is Superman surrounded by what looks to be some indigenous people.
Like a cult type thing going on.
I don't think it's a cult. I mean, he's to me, I'm reading this as he's in the third world country doing something, and these people all run up to him. Yeah, they all want to touch him because they think he's God. Well, I guess I just saw flashing lights back there, so that does make sense. My whole thing with it is I was talking about the fact that, I saw Man of Steel, had super high expectations based on the trailer. The trailer made it look like it was going to be the Superman movie we'd all wanted and waited and been crazy for. And I went in and felt like I didn't get that movie. And for a while I was disappointed and stayed away from it. And then watching it with the expectations set where they were, I was like, oh, this is actually a good movie. It's a different telling of Superman. Okay. That got me excited again the second watching on HBO, or third, I guess, in my lifetime, getting ready for Batman v Superman. Because, okay, now I get the universe and I get where we're playing and I get what's happening. I understand it's going to be dark and it's not going to be saturated.
Yes.
This trailer leaves me intrigued instead of excited.
That's what that's a perfect way of putting it, right? Is that I look at this and I'm like, this is not a get super hyped for this amazing thing that's happening trailer. Because let's be honest, everyone's gonna go see this anyway.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're a
I'm
Superman
sold
fan,
already.
You're a Batman fan or vice versa, you're gonna go see this. You don't have to get me all, crazy souped up. What this does do though, however, is souped up. No pun intended, I guess. This does get me intrigued. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what the story is. I want to know, it's exactly like we thought it was going to be, where everyone thought it was going to be, like after these crazy events that destroyed Metropolis and half the freaking world.
Yeah.
It's no doubt that Superman people are having their doubts about who Superman is, what his intentions are. Is he here to destroy the world? Is he going to take over the world? Is he a god?
And that's what's fascinating to me. I always talk about the fact that I feel like me personally, right, being a DC comic fanboy, I don't get these movies, and so when I do and they suck or they don't take chances, I'm like, I'd rather see them take chances. This is a Superman story we don't see, a world that doesn't trust Superman. It does look like we're looking at the screen right now of the statue in the darkness slowly coming in on it, and to me this speaks to what we had talked about, what I had been predicting forever. You see a crane back here. They've rebuilt Metropolis from ground zero. They put up this Superman statue thanking him, but now there's this whole, this is how Lex takes over, I imagine. He gets into the real estate game and doing all these different things. But, do we trust Superman? Do we not? Some people can't forgive him for being the alien threat that brought all these things, all this destruction and death to the world. And it is a dark tale, and I know people get all bent out of shape about that Superman's supposed to save everybody and do this, but I always go back to the fact of you can't have it both ways. People for years and years and years gave me shit for liking Superman, saying he's a Boy Scout, he never does anything wrong, he's boring. And so, he lost this battle, really, right? He didn't save everybody, and now he is this, is he good or is he bad character? And we need to figure that out in this movie. That's interesting. It's interesting to see Metropolis write false god across his chest and try to figure out what's happening.
See, this trailer is interesting to me because it doesn't intrigue or excite me, really. It does neither of those things. Like, I think it excites me more than it intrigues me. Like, in terms of all the story plot stuff, it's like, this is exactly what I would think that movie would be after Man of Steel. And it's like, okay, now they're adding Batman and now they're going to fight. That excites me just because of what that is.
Sure.
But seeing this trailer, I get the same type of excitement as when I saw Transformers trailers, where I'm like, all right, whatever. The fights are going to be cool. You know?
Well, I mean,
I can't wait to see the fight scenes. I can't wait
Right.
to see that stuff. But, like, otherwise, it's like, all right. I don't know. And I don't want to come off too negative about this, but like it's really.
See, I love that. There are moments in this that really got me though. Like the first time we actually see Affleck move in the Batsuit when he's coming out of the wreckage of whatever, he's just either blown
this
up
flaming
or blown
thing,
up,
and
he looks like Batman. I mean, he looks like how Batman should look.
He looks
Big,
like Jim Lee Batman, that's what
I'm. Like he looks like he could break someone's legs, anyone's legs on the planet, with the exception of Superman. I like that. I love all the callbacks to The Dark Knight Returns, right? Where I love that shot right there. The shot where we actually see him in that
like
sort
the
of
Titan
like
outfit.
electric Titan like power suit armor that he's got, staring up at Superman, and then we get the line which we're still not sure if he actually says or not. We're assuming it's Ben Affleck's voice.
If you crank it up, I mean, we're there right now. I'll crank it up. To me, it's, I mean, in the Portuguese trailer or whatever, there was more of a doubt. Here it is him. Like, I feel like that's Ben Affleck there. That sounds like Ben Affleck.
See,
with using a voice changer, which again is, people were asking me, like, I love how it's been so divisive on the internet about this trailer, even with the Portuguese one, right? Of like, I love the voice, I hate the voice, it's awesome, it's boring, this, that. It's like, I like the idea of doing that differently, because how many times we're already getting the growl in Daredevil. It's like, let's see how you do it somewhere different, right?
So, I mean, that's the other thing too, is like, let's not judge it. Yeah, it could be just his voice in that specific suit
Sure.
of armor,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause that is like
that would make sense.
That was the suit that was like super souped up to be able to not necessarily fight Superman, but stave him off long enough to hatch whatever plan Batman had for him. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's in there that's cool. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't excite me. Like, it's not going to be the breaking point of, oh my God, now I definitely have to see this movie.
Sure.
That was when at Comic-Con they showed the logo together, and I was like, done, I'm in. Midnight.
Yeah.
You guys could have not launched a trailer and just told me it was out, and I would have gone and to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it. It doesn't have near the panache or the nostalgia that the Star Wars trailer that just came out has, but it's not gonna.
Yeah. You don't need that.
I don't need that. Neither does guess what. Now, this trailer for me, perfect example of this. I was as excited about watching this as I was about watching the first trailer for Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, that's a good point.
I'm gonna go see it. It's not blowing my skirt up, but it's because we're spoiled brats and we all have a ton of awesome stuff to see.
See, this is for me. This is totally, and comparing it to Age of Ultron is a good example of me getting what I always talk about when it's not a product that I love so much. Is I wanted more. I want to see more Batman. I want to see more Superman. I don't like how much time's wasted on black screens here, right? But if they would have done that, I would have seen the movie and bitched about the trailer ruining too much.
Yeah.
Not to mention that we still have 11 months of hype for this movie. You know what I mean?
We're gonna see a lot of stuff come out of this movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a lot of extra screens. But I mean, look, we're watching it again and we're seeing Ben Affleck kind of stare off over maybe a pool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
There's
one
some
of
sort of light that's coming on his face. Looks like he's staring at his badass.
Yeah,
it's
pool. And that's the way they edit it is that he's in the Batcave, right? But that's
he's not.
He's
on his, like balcony or something.
Yeah, you don't
like
know. I mean, it could be down in the cave, the water reflecting off a cave pool. I'm not
That's
saying
true.
it's not, but I mean,
true.
it's just like I'm not ready to bite on that. Actually, is what's happening. But then looking at the suit looks so fucking dope.
It looks dope, and he looks good, man. Like you
Ben
know,
Affleck
when they
looks
first
great,
announced him, I was like, I don't know.
You were crazy. You were totally wrong.
Coming off of Daredevil,
known.
Ben the last time he
Why
played
does
a superhero.
everyone? Why did he didn't write Daredevil?
No, but he was when he was. That's the problem. Is it just left a bad taste in everyone's
You're all
mouth.
crazy.
But you know, I think he could do a really good job. And I mean, the Batmobile looks dope. Everything.
Well,
looks,
it's
all
the
the
back
elements,
of the Batmobile.
No, we've already seen the Batmobile though.
Yeah, I know, but I want to see it in motion. Batwing up there shooting cars, blowing them up with a guy right there shooting. I thought that was kind of.
I don't know, man. A lot of
that was the Batwing.
So the aesthetic of this is very Zack Snyder. I mean, that you cannot look at any screen of a Zack Snyder movie and not immediately know. You know what I mean? Like he has this very unique style and look to it, and it's one of those things where like you earlier were talking about this, and you're like, oh yeah, it's unique to see like comic book heroes like have this look because we're so used to the Marvel look to the Nolan universe look and all that stuff, and so it is cool that it's something different, but I don't know, there's something about it that just doesn't mesh right to me.
God, that shot though, I'll be honest though, that shot right there.
What shot?
Where it's the reverse shot of him looking up into the sky and Superman's looking down at him, and Batman's just like, this is gonna go my way. You look at the look on his face, is like, you think you're gonna beat me, it's not gonna go that way because I'm Batman. That right there though, that image right there gives me hope, because we didn't see that in the last 3 Batman. This is a very, very, very Batman thing to do.
Right.
Stand in front of Superman and not budge. That's very Batman. That makes me excited right there.
Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, we're seeing things, me as a DC Comics fanboy, I've dreamed about my entire life seeing in a movie, seeing in a live action thing, seeing done with a budget, not a fan film or something like that. Yeah. So, like, for me alone, this interaction is, like, the paramount of the movie, right? Them facing off in the rain with when we saw from, the Comic-Con footage of him coming in through the bat signal and stuff and all that jazz.
Smiles.
And you got to imagine that's midway through the movie, 3/4 through the movie. Like, that's not the penultimate, or that is the penultimate fight. There's still something coming.
Do you think?
Yeah.
You don't think they're just going to end on this?
No. Are you being sarcastic or not?
I mean, I really hope they don't.
No, they've got to brawl here and then figure out that there's a real enemy that is Lex that they have to go out and do something to. You know what I mean?
And fight in the next movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I see what you're saying.
But there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason why. There's got to be a bigger worldwide threat, right? Because isn't this supposed to be the prequel to the Justice League?
Yeah, this is where they introduce Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
So Batman and Superman are going to be the main players in this, as they should be in every movie that has Batman and Superman in them. But they have to set up the greater world, and in doing so, they have to set up the greater threat,
right?
Which is what's going to have to happen.
I'm excited.
We're getting cliffhangered. I'm calling it now. Like,
Do you think they're going to fight and that's just going to be the end of it?
I think that they're going to fight, and then we're not.
It's literally they rush toward each other, and it's like to be continued.
Yeah, I would fucking riot.
Well, no, not that far. We're going to get this.
Yeah.
But we're not getting a fight after that.
You think this is the climax of the movie?
I think that there's a chance that that's going to happen. Yeah.
I want it to be exactly.
Where it's going to be. We're introduced to whatever the threat is going to be in the next one, and like, hey, what's up, Wonder Woman and Aquaman? We're going to need you two for this to be continued.
But it seems like so did they figure out? Okay, so do they at least end being friends or having a tight alliance or something?
Yeah,
a tested alliance.
I think the way it's going to go is like, I mean, midway through the second act is when Batman's going to realize that Superman's actually a good guy, and whatever force has been pitting them against each other is not Superman. There's something else out there that's pitting them, that's manipulating the situation, because this Batman in this world, hopefully, is an actual detective who actually spends a lot of time thinking about what's going on and trying to detect. Figures out that Superman is actually a good guy, has either been framed or getting a bad rap, and then they team up together. Yeah. I hope to God it has the same sort of panache and sort of charm as when they met in the animated series.
Right.
And you get that wonderful moment where he's like, he looks through and he's like, Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
And then it's like he lands on his porch like an hour later and looks back. He's got a little
tracker on him.
And he's just staring there like miles off, like
just as the little salute and then takes off.
I hope we have that sort of back and forth.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna end in a much more tense relationship than that. Animated series tied it all up nicely that they were friends. I think it's gonna be a more interesting, stubborn headbutting thing. That's what's fascinating about
going out for mocha lattes.
Right. It's gonna be so interesting. Well, I'm super excited to see how their relationship progresses, how you introduce everybody else, how you do the Justice League, and what that looks like, and how they're taking orders from each other, and if Batman's leading the team, and what's happening.
Yeah, it's
I'm super. Again, I'm intrigued by everything I've seen. I'm not at all like stunned silence like I was after the Man of Steel trailer. Like
the Man of Steel trailer was one of those trailers where I locked myself in a conference room for about 30 minutes and watched it over and over again and shed a tear for how good it was.
Yeah.
You'll give the people an ideal to strive towards. And you're like, come on, Dad. Yeah. God, it was so good.
Well, that's like the Star Wars trailer yesterday that I literally throughout the day had to just keep rewatching over and over. But the thing is, when Star Wars Episode 9 has its trailers, are we going to have that same reaction?
We're not.
No, it's going to be the same as this, where it's like, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Movie.
We're used to this now, you know?
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice official? This is the official trailer. No, there's no trailer 2. I'm confused about Star Wars. Sorry, it's been a long week of trailers.
It really has.
Let us know in the comments.
Official teaser, I think. I don't think it's a trailer still.
Really?
They're calling this a teaser.
It's a
right?
2-minute long. It's a trailer for Christ's sake.
I'm calling this a trailer. This is a real trailer.
It is. They're calling it a teaser, but
they can go to hell. What did you think? Let us know in the comments. Then make sure you keep coming back to Kinda Funny for crazy reacts, gameplay videos. We put up stuff all the time. Go see Colin and Greg live, where we talk about trailers as they happen over on Twitch. And let us know if you're gonna still go see this in IMAX on Monday. Are you guys going?
No,
not anymore. No,
I am going. They promised extra scenes, which I'm sure will be one extra scene, and swag. And I want to support Zack Snyder and DC Comics and Superman and Batman and the movie I've asked for my entire life. I remember watching I Am Legend and being like, man, these zombies suck, but they had a Batman versus Superman movie. I wish I could have seen that. Sucks about the zombies.
Yeah.
But then I thought about if they...
And then the dog.
Oh, God, Sam.
My God, Sam. Yeah.
Poor dog. Poor German Shepherd. Was it German?
And now Will Smith is in Suicide Squad, so he's in the universe, too. That's the movie to be looking out for. That's Suicide Squad.
You think he's still going to have a Mustang?
No.
We've gone off.